Welcome everybody. This is how to prepare Keto Chow 2.1. I have my very lovely assistants, Haley and Catherine Bear. I've been the face of the last couple preparation videos, and I figured that they're much better looking than I am, but I'll be your narrator. Anyway, so the first thing you're going to want to do when you go to prepare Keto Chow is you'll want to figure out how many calories you're going to be using. Now, the easiest way to do that is using the custom calorie calculator that's on the Keto Chow preparation page. If you're watching this video, you're probably already on the page where that is. That's going to be right below this video. Just go ahead and scroll down. You're looking for the big blue button. It's going to have a calorie calculator. You just need to type in the number of calories you want per day. In this case, both Haley and Kate are using the same 1,600 calories a day. If you scroll on down a little bit more, you'll see where you can change the type of unit of measurement that you're using. It can be everything from milliliters up to fluid ounces, cups, tablespoons. I personally prefer milliliters, but it's really easy to skip back and forth between the different units of measure. If you scroll up just a little bit more, there's a really cool slider that you're able to use to select whether you want all heavy cream, all avocado oil, or a combination. So let's go ahead and get our unit of measure for the heavy cream, and we'll do fluid ounces. So that has us right now to right around exactly 4 fluid ounces. It's going to be really easy to measure in the blender bottles because there's a 4 fluid ounce line. So 4 ounces of heavy cream. And we're going to be making 3 different ones. We're going to be doing all heavy cream, a mixture of avocado oil and heavy cream, and Kate's putting that slider right in the middle. Got it first time. So we're going to do half avocado oil and half heavy cream. It looks like we're right around exactly 2 fluid ounces of heavy cream and just under an ounce of avocado oil. And there's twice as many calories, roughly, of calories in avocado oil versus heavy cream. We're going to do 2 ounces of heavy cream. And let's switch over to milliliters because it's a little bit easier to measure the oil in milliliters. And so that'll be 25 milliliters of avocado oil with the 2 ounces of heavy cream. And go ahead and drag the slider back to all oil. And it looks like we're getting almost exactly 50 milliliters of avocado oil in order to make the just avocado oil version. Catherine and Haley have already figured that out. Here's their notebook. So we're going to be doing heavy cream only, a combination of heavy cream and avocado oil, and just avocado oil. For you lactose intolerant out there, or people who simply want to get fewer carbohydrates. So let's go ahead and measure out the heavy cream for just the heavy cream. Okay, so we're going to be measuring out 4 ounces. Now, one thing that makes it a bit easier to measure it out if you're doing the same amount every time is just take a marker and draw a line on the blender bottle of where you want the measurement to go. It's a little bit harder to see the lines otherwise. So she just drew a 4 ounce line, and we're going to draw a 2 ounce line on the other bottle. There isn't actually a 2 ounce line on the blender bottles, but you can see right about where it is. It's where that little curve goes down. Yeah, right there. So let's go ahead and fill both of those up. Heavy cream, first one to the 4 ounce line, the other one to the 2 ounce line, just because we're doing one that's all heavy cream, one that's half heavy cream, half avocado oil. And yeah, that went up to 2 ounces. Okay, now we just need to measure the oil. Now you can use a measuring cup. Over here I've also got a syringe that you can use, but we're just going to use the measuring cup. The syringe is just a regular syringe. Anyway, so we just need 25 milliliters. For the one that's half avocado oil, half heavy cream. Let's measure that out. Okay. Get too much and you're going to die, okay? Okay, dump that in there. And let's go ahead and measure out the 50 milliliters for the other one. Now again, if you have different calorie requirements, you'll be using different amounts from this. Typically when I'm mixing mine up, I'm using 60 milliliters, which is actually why I have that syringe over there. It goes up to 60. It's really easy to just suck it out, squirt it in there. Okay, so dump that in there. Okay, and that's all the fats. Once you have the fat measured out for the Keto Chow, you now need the Keto Chow powder. The most accurate way of measuring that out is to use a scale and a bowl. If you are doing some sort of nutrition experiment or you need exact nutrition amounts, is by far the most accurate way of doing it. It's not subject to variations in how well you pack the scoop or anything else. It's just a measurement of mass. It's far more accurate. Most people don't need that level of exactness, and so we provide a scoop in each bag. So we're just going to show you how to use the scoop. So for that, you just grab the package. You will scoop it out. Make sure that you shake it a little bit and try and get as much of the powder into there as possible. And then you use the side of the bag to level out the scoop. Now you'll see in Haley's here, there is a little bit of an air bubble on the side. That shouldn't be a problem. It'll be within a couple of grams of the desired amount, and that should be sufficient. So at this point, she's going to go ahead and put a scoop of Keto Chow into the blender bottle and then fill that up with 14 ounces of water. Now, the Keto Chow 2.1 mixes up thicker than earlier versions of Keto Chow. That's why we generally recommend more water. Depending on how much heavy cream and or oil you're putting that in, it will sometimes equate out to be about 20 ounces, whereas in previous versions it was more along the lines of 16 ounces. So you fill that up with water. You're going to want to move the other two blender bottles out of the way so that, there we go. So you fill that up, put the lid on, and one really important step is you need to shake the blender bottle from side to side a couple of times, and that's to prevent the powder from sticking inside of the lid. So now she can shake it up top to bottom. I usually do it with two hands, but you can shake it however you want, and I always make a funny face when I'm shaking it. So that's probably shaken up well enough for now. You can set that off to the side, and let's go ahead and repeat that for the other two. So by far, one of the most time-intensive steps of this is measuring out the fat. If you are using a simple measurement amount like 4 fluid ounces, it can actually go really quickly. And then just dumping in the water, shaking it up. And if you want the Keto Chow thicker, you can add more water. If you want it thinner, you can add less water. Why don't you go ahead and hand that off to Kate so that she can get that one shaking, and you can do the next one. Now, as far as storage goes, most of the time Keto Chow will keep for up to 6 days, sometimes even 7 in the refrigerator. You want to refrigerate it as soon as you get it mixed up, because bacteria does love to grow in the protein. Even if you use avocado oil, it still will eventually go bad. That's just how protein powder is. But it'll keep for up to 6 days at a time. I personally prefer to mix up anywhere from 4 to 5 days worth of Keto Chow, however many I'm going to consume. The problem with that is my daughters here have tended to steal my Keto Chow now. So that's why they are helping me mix it up. Haley will often, on her way out the door to go to high school, say, "Dad, can you make me a Keto Chow in a Hydro Flask?" So the Hydro Flasks are really cool. They allow you to keep Keto Chow or any other liquid cold or hot for a long time. Now, if you mix up Keto Chow and stick it right into there and then try to put that in the fridge, it's not going to actually get cold. The Hydro Flask will keep it warm until it goes bad in your fridge. So you want to mix it up in a blender bottle or something similar first, and then pour it into the Hydro Flask just before you leave. So that is mixing up. Well, there's 3 meals of Keto Chow done, ready to go. All right, we'd now like to show you one of our favorite things, and that's mixing up Keto Chow in a blender with ice. If you use the chocolate flavor, you're able to get insanely close to a Wendy's Frosty. This time, just because it's delicious, we're going to use the chocolate peanut butter, because that's like a Wendy's Frosty with peanut butter in it, and it's great. So you're going to need a blender, you're going to need ice, you're going to need your source of fat, however much that is. In this case, we're going to use heavy cream, and then a bit of water. Now, with Keto Chow 2.0, you want to use about 14 ounces of water with each meal. So we can only fit 2 meals in our blender here. So go ahead and pop the top off there. First thing we're going to add is the fat source. In this case, to get the 1,600 calories a day, we're using, with 2 meals, we're going to add 8 fluid ounces of heavy cream. So go ahead and dump that into there until you get to the 8-ounce line. There you go. Is that to 8 ounces? Great. Okay, so we've got the 8 ounces. Now we're going to add 2 scoops of the Keto Chow. Again, if you want the most accuracy, you definitely want to use a scale. In this case, we're just going to go ahead and use the scoop because it's close enough for what we're doing. Boom. So we've got 2 scoops of, in this case, chocolate peanut butter. Haley did a good job of leveling it off. Now we're going to add ice. In this case, we have 2 things of ice filled up to about the 14-ounce line. And then we're going to add water until we get to about what would be the 40-ounce line. It's right where that particular blender starts to go out to the side. So right about there. So once we've got that in place, just throw on the lid. And we're going to push the smoothie button. You stopped it.
It's vibrating.
Yeah, it was okay. Right, so we've got that all done. So with earlier versions of Keto Chow, you had to wait before consuming. With 2.1, the problem that caused that, which was the vitamins, it no longer tastes like a Flintstones vitamin for 30 minutes. So you can go ahead and grab some cups, pour this in, and enjoy right away. Ooh, Kate wants to do it right now. Yeah, just pull it off, pour it in.
Interesting.
Now you could keep it icy like that by putting it into a hydro flask. Got a hydro flask right over there. This one's purple. And it will, if you keep it in a hydro flask, it'll actually stay really well. If you don't want it quite that thick, you could add more water, or in that case, less ice. These particular cups that we're using are way too small for the 40 ounces that we did. So it's kind of a get some and then come back and get some more. But there you go. Chocolate peanut butter Keto Chow Frosty. How is it, girls? Okay.